prior to approach of a need for the grid generation is, initially we should have some shape and size of the domain. This is a primary requirement for us to go with. So then we are going to discretize the domain. Then we are going for the discretization of the domain. Then we are going to identify the domain boundaries like inlet, outlet, outlet, then pressure far field or velocity inlet, velocity outlet, wall boundary condition. These are all going to identify the boundaries, or we are going to put a tags for it. Then we are going to go for a meshing. So then we are writing the mesh in the file or the format, or we are exporting in the format of .msh. So it says that it is an extension of mesh file format. It is an extension of the mesh file format, or based upon the individual tool requirements. Based upon the tool requirements, it is sent to the selected solver by writing it in the file or the format. So as in the earlier sessions, we have seen how do we discretize the domain. Now today let us identify the domain boundaries. And let us see how this mesh will be writing up. So let us see today in today's discussion, we'll see how this mesh will be writing up there, how we are sending a file to. Then based upon the uniqueness of the boundary, condition, depending upon the shape, size and the inlets, outlets, based upon that one we will be solving it or we will be sending it to the solver, and there the governing equations will be running on that. There we are running on the governing equations. Okay, let us see. So now, so as the general pre-processing steps in the CFD is concerned, as in general, the pre-processing steps in the CFD is concerned. So initially what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to make the CAD modeling. So that means initially we are supposed to create the geometry, as I explained even in the earlier sessions or the earlier videos. So initially we are supposed to make a CAD modeling of the geometry. Then discretize the domain or generate the grid on the particular geometry. Grid generation or domain discretization. Then give a domain tags. Or give the inlet and outlet as the names or the conditions for it. So that it is, give the domain tags. Which one is inlet, outlet, far field, surface, geometry, upper surface or lower surface. So this is what the steps we are following it in the pre-processing CAD modeling. We are following with the CAD modeling initially. Then we are going for the domain discretization. Then we are going for the domain tags. So after this pre-processing only, it will be sent to the solver. After doing this pre-processing only, it will be sent to the solver. So what exactly the types of grids we have? Actually? So as far as the types of the grids are concerned, there are many grid generation methods available as far as algorithms, as we have discussed in the earlier sessions. Like using a polynomial method or using a finite difference method, we can generate the grid. Now, but in general, these grids are categorized. Only in three categories. Or the grid generation methods are categorized into three. So, what are those three methods? Means the three methods are Cartesian grid generation methods, structured grid generation method, and unstructured grid generation methods. And the other one, which may be from any of these two, or which may be a coupled in between these two, or which is utilizing the two of the methods, more than one method, then that type of method is called as a hybrid grid generation method. And that type of method is called as a hybrid grid generation method. And in the hybrid grid generation method, so there it is not possible, or there we cannot easily classify whether it is a Cartesian grid, or whether it is only structured grid, or whether it is only an unstructured grid. So when you are saying it is in a hybrid grid, so that may be combination of two methods utilizing it. So we are obtaining the solution for that particular one. So then we have in that case it will be called as a hybrid grid generation. Let us see what all the methods available or the possible. So as we enter into this particular one, grid generation method, so let us see how exactly this particular grids would be generated, or what are the categories under these headings. So as far as the Cartesian grids are concerned, so they are of quadtree or octatree. So they are forming of a quadtree cells or octatree cells will be generated when we are going with the Cartesian grid generation method. So they are forming of a quad or octa cells, and when this is all the first method. When you are going for the second method, so that it is second generation of the grid method. So there we are talking about the structured grid. Whereas in the structured grid, it can be monoblock or it can be multi-block also. We'll see in this extension of today's session, we'll see about what is the monoblock grid and what is the multi-block grid. So in the structured grid type, so that we have monoblock grid and multi-block grid. And whereas in the structured grids, so where we have so monoblock and multi-block grid. So when we have monoblock means that is a single block is being framed into the cells, or single block is divided into the cells, and that cells should result in the structured cell sizes. Whereas when you say it is a multi-block grid, so there it can be patched one, or it can be even an overlapping grid. So there it can be even an overlapping grid. And this is the second type of grid generation method. This is the first type of grid generation method, second type of grid generation method, and third one, so that it is unstructured grid method. That is unstructured grid. In unstructured grid method, it can be either a triangular cells, or it can be even a tetrahedral cells. It can be a triangular cells, or it can be a tetrahedral cells. If not triangular or tetrahedral, at least in this one we will be looking at, so all the cells are of triangular or tetrahedral, so they are very close to the structured grids. Right. Whereas when you go for the quad or the hexahedral cells, there in this particular category, where we will see mostly all the cells or most of the cells are unstructured grid. So they are not able to even categorize whether we are going for the completely structured cells or unstructured cells. So in quads or the hexahedral cells, we'll be getting mostly on a unstructured grids. And as far as the conditions are concerned, as far as the boundary or far-field conditions are concerned, so mostly we will be preferred with going with a structured grid generation. Why structured grid generation only? That also we will see today. Okay. Now this is the first category, second category or second generation method, and third methods of grid generation. Now here again we are discussing about even the fourth one also. But if you see in the fourth grid generation method, so where we have again Cartesian triangulations, here you just see Cartesian triangulation method, and here you just see Cartesian and structured one, Cartesian and triangulations. So that means one cell is from the Cartesian and triangulations, both are mixed in this one. It is mixed, so that is called as a hybrid one. And here we have Cartesian and structured one, and again second category, it has been mixed here in this one. So that means mixture of 1 and 2. Sorry, this is 1 and 3, and this is mixture of 1 and 2. So that is first method and the second method. This is a mixture of first and the third method. And third one, if you see, structured and triangulation. So that it is mixture of second and third method. That is a mix of second and the third methods, right? So these hybrid mesh or the hybrid grids or hybrid method of generation of grids can be possible to take advantage from any, but finally our criteria is to fill up the entire domain with the entire domain, or discretize the entire domain by discretizing it. So that will be adopted in the hybrid mesh types. That would be adopted in the hybrid mesh types. Now the question comes to the individual, sir, which type of mesh will be, or how would I know that which type of mesh would be fitted in that one? And mostly in order to make it as structured. So when we are saying it is preferred one, the structured grid, if it is only the preferred one, how can I make my particular? So one thing is that we can't change the geometry. Geometry is fixed anyway. So we can't change the geometry. But how can I get the structured cells where the possibility of getting unstructured mesh is high? Where the possibility of getting unstructured mesh is high, in order to make it structured, so what are the possibilities, or how can I make the structured meshes? So in order to understand that one, so what we will do is, when you are talking about this, hybrid meshes, so what we are doing is, we are Cartesian and the triangulations are being used. Cartesian and structures are being used. Structures and the triangulations are being used. So up to the possibility or up to the feasibility of that particular solution, we will try to make it as much as possible structure. When it is not possible, so then we will leave it to the algorithm. So that algorithm will take care and it will give a unstructured mesh. So where it is possible, we'll try to make structured mesh. So today we will see practically how do I make a structured mesh which is in the automated format. So that automated format can be hybrid mesh or it can be an unstructured mesh. Automated one can be utilized in between these two. Any method it can utilize it, because it has to give the resultant. It has to give the result as early as possible. So that means my time is constrained here in this one. So how much time it takes to run it? So that based upon my computational power or based upon the machine power, the resultant will be given on this. How do I can create this type of Cartesian grids? How can we create this type of Cartesian grid? So where you can see in the Cartesian grid types, we see that as far as this domain is concerned, from the domain bottom, so up to this level, this bottom level of this one, bottom level of the domain is being very closely mapped, and as it is moving up to this level, so there I have incremented with some number, so that means spacing has been increased from here, and again when I'm moving from this surface, the spacing has been increased, whereas close to this zone, so the mesh spacing is very less, and when as I'm moving in the, let me write it in the XY directions. X versus Y. So as we are moving in the Y direction, the mesh spacing is being increased, and compared to this cell here to this cell, so the cell size or the distance in the delta Y, so here it is delta Y1 and here it is delta Y4 or Y6 or delta Yn. Comparing to this one, so the delta Yn gap has been increased. So that means the growth has been increasing like this, so where the spacing is increased along this line. So that is my interest or my importance is given only at the solid boundaries. So where I have a solid boundary, there the meshing is more spacing. So that means the less the spacing I gave, so that the more number of cells have been fitted in that. Where my domain is available, there the spacing I have increased. So this type of grids are called as a Cartesian grids. This type of grids are called as a Cartesian grids. So let us see one practical approach even. How do we model the Cartesian grids using a tools? Physically, using a tool, we'll demonstrate how the Cartesian grids can be formed. So then we'll understand better how this algorithm works when we are working with a Cartesian grid. So, and this is not an automated one.